Okay, Mr. Chairman, we are now live.
Welcome to a virtual meeting of the North Applications Planning Committee of the London Borough of Hillingdon. This virtual meeting is also being broadcast simultaneously on the Council's YouTube channel, Hillingdon London. I'm Councillor Eddie Lavery, the Chairman of the committee and the Chairman of tonight's meeting. I think we've all done the online housekeeping often enough, so if I could just remind you to keep your microphones quiet. If you're not speaking, I shall move on. Before I move into the agenda, can I just do the attendance, please? Councillor Higgins.
Yes, I'm present. Councillor Kaufman is having trouble getting on, by the way.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. Councillor Tuckwell.
Present, Mr. Chairman.
Right, Councillor Capel, we know is trying to get on. Councillor Melvin.
I'm here, Chairman.
Councillor Morgan. No Councillor Morgan either. Councillor Oswell.
Yeah, present, Chairman.
Councillor Dott.
I'm present, Chairman. Thank you.
And Councillor Singh.
I'm present, Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, we are quorate, although we are a couple of people missing. Off the officer team tonight, the planning officer, Zenat Haj Ismail.
Present, Chairman.
Head of planning, James Roger.
I'm present, Chairman.
Transport, Alan Tilley.
Present, Chairman.
Democratic Services Officer and Clerk, Neil Fraser.
Present, Chairman.
Legal Advisor, Glenn Egan.
Present, Chairman.
The usual reminder, if any councillor leaves the virtual meeting part way through, I will continue unless I'm not quorate, but of course you can only vote on items where you've been present for the whole meeting. In terms of apologies for absence tonight, we have an apology from Councillor Hagger with Councillor Tuckwell substituting. Can I have declarations of interest, please?
Yes, Chairman. I have a declaration of interest, non-pecuniary, on item 656 Firs Walk. The reason being that I was involved in their very first application with the residents. Okay,
thank you. I wasn't at the previous meeting. Can I take it the record is accurate?
Yes,
yeah,
Chairman.
Get some thumbs
up. Agreed.
On that.
Agreed.
I will take them as agreed. Tonight's agenda has moved considerably from the one that was published. Items 7, 8 and 11 have been withdrawn. That's 7, 8 and 11 have gone. So we have one petition item, item 6, and then we've got 9, 10 and 12 in part 1, the public part of the meeting. And then in the private session of the meeting, we have items 13 and 14. Okay, that's all the administration done. I'm going to move now to item 6, which is 5 and 6 Firs Walk. Zanab, can you do the presentation, please?
Thank you, Chairman. Just sharing my screen with you. So item 6 relates to number 5 and 6 Firs Walk. The application is seeking outline planning permission for the erection of 3 dwellings with associated access, parking, amenity space, and the installation of vehicle crossover. The details for the access to the site have been included. All other matters are reserved for future consideration. Members will recall that a very similar proposal was presented a few months ago. So just taking you through the site, this area denotes the area of special local character, but in relation to the site, there are no designations. This is a site location plan. This is the indicative site layout plan. The key difference between what was previously presented and what is before members today is the access runs right through from Foxdale into Firs Walk. And there appears to be some hedging provided between plot 1 and the remainder of Firs Walk. There is also a turning circle, and number 6 Firs Walk garden wraps around this area. This is an image. This is a presentation of the previously refused scheme. So just this is the current scheme, and this is the previously refused scheme under reference 2019-3096. And this is the previously refused scheme under 2018-2107, which was subsequently dismissed at appeal. This is an indicative site layout plan and detailed measurements of the crossover, which show this will be 4.9 meters bird's eye view, and photographs of the site. This is number 5 Firs Walk and number 6 Firs Walk. And this is an image from Foxtel looking towards Firs Walk, where the access is proposed, and an image of Foxtel. This is the garden of number 5, and this is number 6. So the proposal provides a net increase in 2 family dwelling houses, which is a material planning consideration in favour of the development. However, the weight afforded to this has to be considered in light of the council's ability to demonstrate a 5-year housing land supply. The application would result in the loss of back garden land and the function it serves in relation to local character, amenity space, and supporting biodiversity. The benefit of 2 additional family dwelling houses do not outweigh the harm caused by the loss of the existing back gardens. To enable the internal road to be completed to serve the 2 newly created dwellings, works will be required to the end of Foxtel, and it is not within the ability of the applicant to undertake all the necessary works to Foxtel, and therefore the second reason for refusal relates to the Section 106 agreement. A unilateral undertaking was submitted, however, this was withdrawn by the applicant before committee. So for the reasons outlined within the officer's report, the application is recommended for refusal. There is an addendum to this item which clarifies the petitioner's objections, and I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Zainab. Neil, you've got a petitioner's presentation on this one?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I'm just going to share the slide before I read out the petitioner statement. Okay, so hopefully everyone can see that. That is Appendix 1, supplied by the petitioner in conjunction with their written statement, which I'll now read.
On screen, Neil.
Thank you. So, dear councillors and dear members of the Planning Committee, this petition reflects the concerns of many residents in the Dean Road area, 54 of whom signed the petition within a matter of days, showing their strong objection against the application. Additionally, 7 residents submitted individual letters objecting to the application, raising in total some 24 points of objection. This statement is supported by the Dean Road Residents Association, representing 120 households, as well as fully endorsed by the Northwood Residents Association. The Dean Road area has been officially recognised and designated as an area of outstanding local character. The third application for this site within the past 2 years has changed little from the second application, which was rejected by the North Planning Committee on 17th of June 2020, a few days after the submission of this third application. The main reasons for the rejection of the second application have not been addressed in this third application whatsoever. Conveniently, however, this third application makes a lot of effort to elaborate on how it has addressed the concerns raised in the first application. Given little has changed from the second application to the third application, we strongly object to the third application for many of the same or similar reasons. We applaud the Planning Department for a thorough, balanced and well-constructed report regarding the application. The report recommends the refusal for the same reasons as for the second application, i.e. loss of gardens at odds with surrounding area, cramped form detrimental to visual amenity, character and appearance of the area, as well as a lack of a Section 106 agreement for accessing the site from Foxtel. The application claims to maintain the building line with adjacent houses in Foxtel and Firs Walk. This, however, is at odds with the indicative site layout plan, with the houses set to the fore of existing houses, which you can see via the blue line on the on-screen appendix. The forward-facing garage spurs, which is the blue dashed line, are also not in line with the garages of the existing houses. The plan also shows large crown roofs, which is the pink line, which are not supported by DMHD 1B-8. This is a non-traditional roofing form and not sympathetic to the traditionally designed houses in the immediate locality. The application states that no trees will be affected by their proposal, when in fact 3 80-year-old trees were felled on the property number 6 Firs Walk in April 2018, just before the submission of the first application, and there are thus no guarantees that further environmental destruction will not be carried out. Approval of the application would therefore not just be in contravention of many of Hillingdon's planning policies, e.g. DMH 6, DHMB 11, DHMB 14, BE 1 Section 2 and 9, BE 19 and EM 4, but also contravening the decisions made by this committee against the previous 2 applications and by the inspector appointed on the appeal of the first application, which was dismissed. As a second reason for refusal, the report identifies the lack of a Section 106 agreement for works required to connect the site to the end of Foxtel, which the application fails to mention, which is the orange line on the appendix. As mentioned in the report, a letter before action was issued to London Borough of Hillingdon by the owners of numbers 6, 8, 11 and 13 Foxtel on the 22nd of November 2019, giving details of the challenge, which is founded on the strong belief of the owners of the houses that the road between their properties is not part of the public highway. The effect of the challenge, if upheld, would be that there would be no public right-of-way over that section of Foxtel, which would therefore not provide access to the proposed development. The Council has not yet responded to the letter before action, and arguments such as those set out in the first paragraph of the report, section 7.10, have not yet been subject to scrutiny, assessment and counter-argument. In addition to the challenge of the status of Foxtel as a highway, I would briefly point out that access is also restricted from Firs Walk, a privately owned narrow lane that is not a public highway. Its tight 90-degree turn would render any construction traffic impossible, and any increase in traffic by the development's residents would neither be safe nor permitted by all the owners of the road. Whilst access rights here are a private matter, access, suitability and safety are a planning consideration. DHMB 12. That concludes the petitioner's statement, Chairman.
Neil, do we have any statements from the applicant?
We do not.
Do we have any statements from ward councillors?
We do not.
Thank you very much. In that case, I will move to debate. Councillor Higgins, Councillor Oswald.
No brainer, really. As my fellow colleague would say, John. Yes, I'll go with officer's recommendation on this.
Thank you.
And I'll propose it.
Thank you. Councillor Oswald?
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Yeah, I'll second it. There's enough there, or rather there's not enough there, whichever way you want to look at it. Yeah, I'll second it, Chairman. Second the officer's recommendation.
Thank you. I see no other hands, so I'm going to move straight to the vote. Councillor Higgins proposed. Councillor Tuckwell?
For officer's recommendation, Mr. Chairman.
Councillor Oswald seconded. Councillor Dot?
Chairman.
Thank you. Councillor Singh?
For Chairman for the recommendation.
Thank you. Of the 5 councillors present who can vote, all have voted for officer recommendations to refuse this one. Do you concur, Neil?
Agree, Chairman.
Thank you. Councillor Melvin, you can rejoin us. And we are now moving to...
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. We're now moving to item 9 on the agenda, 173 Field End Road. Zanab, please.
Just sharing the presentation with you. So item 9 relates to number 173 Field End Road. The application seeks planning permission for the change of use of the ground floor from a building society to a drinking establishment. No external changes are proposed. The proposal doesn't, so if I just take members through, the application site is outlined in red. So here it is on this retail function on Field End Road. It is this unit in red, formerly was used as a Halifax Building Society. This is the A2 area, and this is the back of the house, and that's the front of the house, and this is the proposal, which is seeking just simply a change of use at this stage. A bird's eye view of the site, and this is the unit, and this is what it was. So the proposal does not result in the loss of a retail unit falling into use class A1, nor will it result in the over-concentration of public house uses within the primary shopping area. Although limited details have been provided under this application, The applicant has explained this is seeking just to establish the change of use. The applicant has confirmed the pub will not operate a kitchen, and any external alterations will require a separate planning application. It's recommended that there are a number of conditions attached to preserve the amenity of the residential units above the proposed public house, and there is an addendum item which omits condition 5 relating to cycle parking, which was considered onerous given the scale and nature of the development proposed. The recommendation is to approve the change of use. Thank you, Chairman, and I'm happy to take any questions.
There are no petitions on this one, so I open for debate. Councillor Higgins, Councillor Tuckwell.
Thank you, Chairman. Again, as previously, it's sad because that used to be my Halifax Building Society branch, but obviously I haven't been there for years. But nothing to save these days. Anyway, on that note, I'll go with observation and propose it.
Thank you, Councillor Tuckwell.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask another question. Is this site vacant at the moment? It looked like it was from the pictures.
It is vacant, I can confirm from local knowledge.
It is. So, yeah, I've read the report, and there's a few concerns from residents, but I think we've conditioned it sufficiently to protect local residents. In actual fact, having that plot used might actually generate more footfall for the neighbouring retail outlets. So I'm happy to second officer's recommendation.
Yeah, agree.
I see no other hands. So again, I will move to the vote. So Councillor Higgins proposed, Councillor Tutwell seconded. We have no Councillor Kaplan. Councillor Melvin?
Yes, agreed. For.
Councillor Osborne?
Yeah, agreed.
Councillor Dott?
For, Chairman.
Councillor Singh?
Agreed, Chairman.
That's 6 votes in 4, none against. I make that one approved. Agreed, Neil?
Agreed, Chairman. That is approved.
Okay, I move to agenda item 10, 77A, Swakeleys Road, Ickenham. Zanab, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Just sharing my screen with you. Okay, item 10 relates to number 77A, Swakeleys Road. This application is seeking planning permission for the conversion of the existing first floor flat to provide extended and improved dental facilities for the existing practice, which is currently situated at ground floor level. So at the moment there is a residential unit at first floor level, and whilst there would be a loss in the first floor residential unit, it would retain and enhance and improve the health facility use in the town centre location, and as such this proposal is considered acceptable in principle. The majority of the work is internal, and any external alterations to the rear of the property are very limited in scale and appearance. They would not impact the character of the area, nor would it harm amenity of neighbouring residents. So this application is being recommended for approval. I'll just take you through the plans. This is the existing elevation, and these are the proposed plans, and there's just a very limited addition at first floor level to the rear. Proposed elevations, bird's eye view of the site, the existing front elevation, and this is the site from the rear. So the application is recommended for approval. I'm happy to take any questions, Chairman. Thank you.
There are no petitions on this one. Who would like to kick me off? We've got Councillor Higgins, Melvin and Oswald. Can't hear you, Councillor Higgins.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Same as before. I don't really have any real issues with this, so I will go with the officer's recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Melvin?
Yes, I agree. I'm quite happy to second the proposal.
Okay, I'll just hear from Councillor Oswald before I move forward.
Yeah, no, it's okay, Chairman. It's all been said. Thank you.
Okay. No other hands I'm seeing, so again I will move straight to the vote. Councillor Higgins proposed. Councillor Tuckwell?
Yeah, for officers' recommendation.
Councillor Melvin, seconded. Councillor Oswald.
Sorry, yeah, 4, Chairman. Sorry.
Councillor Dot.
I support the officer recommendation, Chairman. Thank you.
Councillor Singh.
4, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. That gives me 6 votes in favour, none against. That one's approved. Do you agree, Neil?
Agree, Chairman. Approved. Thank you.
Agreed. Right. The final part 1 item of the night is an out of borough. Sorry.
Hello, Mr. Chairman. This is Councillor John Morgan. I was involved on the last item that you've just read out. And
you're the phone and not the picture. Right. Okay.
Yes, I'm not at home.
Okay. Don't worry. Are you voting in favour?
I'm in favour as well. Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Right. Item 12 is an out of borough consultation from the London Borough of Harrow regarding 5355 Cuckoo Hill Road, Pinner. Zainab, will you take us through?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Just sharing my screen with you. So item 12 relates to an outer borough consultation at the London Borough of Harrow. The application is seeking a detached single-storey building to the land to rear of 53 to 55 Cuckoo Hill Road, Pinner. The site is very constrained. Its only access is this public footpath, and this area here belongs to the London Borough of Hillingdon. Well, it falls within the London boundaries of London Borough of Hillingdon. So this is their proposed new dwelling, and this is the site, and you can see the constrained access, and the red line plan is only cited there to the back. So and here's a photograph of the public access. So it's a very constrained site, and we do question the adequacy of the access into the site. It's very narrow and unlit, and the red line plan really ought to be taken up to the public highway. The proposed development would result in the loss of existing residential garden. It's an uncharacteristic form of development. We recommend that an objection is raised to this application, and we request a request is made to the London Borough of Harrow that this application is refused. Officers request that North Planning Committee agree to this response. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Zainab. Straightforward, I would suggest. I'll go Councillor Tapwell, Councillor Higgins this time round.
Yeah, as you said, Mr. Chairman, very straightforward, and I'm happy to move officer's recommendation.
Councillor Higgins.
I'll be glad to second that. Thank you, Chair.
Councillor Oswald, were you going to do the same thing?
Yeah, yes, I was, Chair. But we're
Thank
okay.
you. There are no other hands, so I'm going to go straight down the voting list. Councillor Higgins and Tapwell proposed and seconded. Councillor Melvin, are you for?
Agreed. Yeah, 4 officers.
Councillor Morgan.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Oswald.
4.
Councillor Dot.
4, Chairman.
Councillor Singh.
4, Chairman.
I make that 7 votes for officer recommendations to object to the application. Do you agree, Neil?
Agree, Chairman.
Okay, Neil, as we're about to enter part 2, can you switch off the live stream and confirm you've done so?
Yep, we'll do now, Chairman. Thank you.